So when is too much? When is a behavior by myself or somebody else too much and something needs to occur? I get this question a lot, especially when it comes to relationships or with own personal habits. And the problem with answering that question is that there is what we call a slippery slope, and you've probably heard that term used a billion times. But basically, what it means is there's an incremental growth in what we accept. It's great for cults; they use it all the time, and really bad people use it all the time on purpose. But usually in everyday life, it comes naturally, right? So. This is how abuse happens. Most of the time people don't go in looking for a relationship that's abusive, but slowly over time it becomes abusive and they don't see it. More things get acceptable, more behaviors that at first would have been absolutely not okay become acceptable because in comparison to the last behavior, it's not that far off, right? So and taking abuse out of it, because a lot of you guys are like, oh, that would never happen to me. Okay, fine. I love ice cream. If I eat ice cream, if I get into a habit of eating ice cream, I'm going to be like a bajillion pounds, right? So I, right now, don't keep ice cream in the house. To me, I would say, oh my God, I would never get to the point where I'm eating a tub of ice cream a night. That would never happen, but that's not how it works, right? So of course, I would never go there. But what I would do is have ice cream for a treat one night, and I'm like, woohoo! And then the next night, I'm like, well, I had it the other night. I should go ahead and have it again, because it's tasty and it's still in my mouth, and I'm very excited about that. And then it's like I get the hankering, and then I got the sweetness for it, and so then I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna go to the store and I'm just gonna get a small little something. It'll just be this one time. It's fine. So then I have it, and then it starts with, okay, I'm just gonna have a spoonful, and then it's like, okay, I'll just have a bowl after dinner, and then it's like I'll have 2 bowls after dinner, and then the next thing you know, you see how it just works its way up to now I'm sitting here eating out of the tub, right? And the trick is that everybody figures out that there's probably something going on up every single one of these steps. But because it's not so far off of the I'm not gonna eat ice cream, it's just one night. It's just one. They go ahead and say okay, and then that's how it happens. So what we need to do is we need to start keeping tabs of the things that are important to us and write them down. And here's why. So I write down, these are the factors in my relationship that are important to me. Here's the 5 things that I would never allow to happen in a relationship, because to me, they compromise my values, they compromise me, they compromise a whole bunch of stuff. Write them down. And that way, when the time comes, if you ever have to question that, if you ever have to look back at that sheet, then you know. Then the whole emotionality that comes with relationships and comes with our lives, it comes with, oh, I'm just feeling down and I really need the ice cream to make myself feel better, or well, maybe I pushed him or her too hard and that's why they treated me the way that they did, and well, they're just under stress. All of these little complexities that we add to a behavior to make it okay, they can be removed. Because as soon as you see that at one point in time you said, this is not acceptable, I will not allow that, this is when I know I have a problem, that's when you need to step away and say, I have lost control of the situation, I need help, I need somebody to help me get out of this situation because we have now gone too far. And that's how you do it. So even if you're in the throes of it now and you're questioning, you're like, well, now what am I supposed to do? I can't go back to the way that I was. Well, that's fine. Now, you think you drink too much now, but just not a really bad problem? Well, so then when do you know it's a problem? When do you know that drinking is a problem? When have you figured out that it's too far? When is the relationship to you so deteriorated that it's no longer helpful? When is that job, when has it hit that point where it is so unhealthy for you that it would compromise everything that you have to stay? And once you've written it down and it gets to that point, then you can look back and say, there it is. And then you've got your answer, because then you have to explain to yourself what it was. Why did you compromise on something that was so important to you before? And that's how you do it. That's how you figure that stuff out. It's not easy, but don't allow yourself to allow the slippery slope to compromise everything that you ever held dear. And if you write it down, you've got a lot less of a chance of that happening. Okay?